Hello again, everybody. This is Craig Evans of Autism Hangout, and thank you for tuning into this Autism Hangout special report. Every day we learn more about autism. Now, the good news is that much of that press is encouraging, but what isn't necessarily encouraging is at least practical, such as the importance of things like early intervention. Well, with me today is a filmmaker that understands the important role that the media is playing in educating everybody about autism. In fact, he's putting his money where his mouth is, and his film, called By, is already winning awards. So Autism Hangout, please welcome filmmaker Anthony Morrison. Welcome, Anthony. It's nice to have you here.
Hello, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm thrilled. I'm always thrilled to have people with positive messages on the show. Now, I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong in this assumption, but yes, the movie is about autism, but it's as much about social change as it is about autism. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think I was trying to show what the impact of early intervention could have and how important it is to have it in communities that normally are underserved. So in making this movie, I went up and met incredible principals at this school in the Bronx who were running an incredible program. So I wanted to show what access could do and show a story of hope, not just show how hard it is, but also where we're succeeding.
And that's excellent. And you come by your education in autism from a first-hand perspective. Could you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this?
Yeah, of course. I grew up with autism. Both my parents are psychologists, and my mom, Dr. Catherine Lord, was one of the authors of the ADOS, which is a test used in diagnosing autism, and I've just been surrounded with it my whole life, going to social groups and things like that. So I felt an obligation to make a movie and share these stories with the world, because I think a lot of this goes unheard.
Well, what was it about autism in particular that first touched you as a filmmaker? What reached your heart and convinced you that this is a message that needs to be told?
I think I see how hard that every day that goes on for families, and I think they have been shouting for years. So I think I've seen, as a young child, I saw how hard it was for families to petition to get their kids into school, to have meetings, to fight to just get 10 hours of therapy. And now out of school, I'm seeing we're doing a little better. You know, we're getting programs like the one Jaden has in my movie, where he gets access to treatment, he gets what he needs, but they're just small steps, and we got a ways to go. And I really feel it's my responsibility to tell these stories and get them out there. So, because I've seen in the past when we have gotten movies, they can be very powerful. So there's a huge responsibility that comes there, but I think they can have real social change.
We're going to show an excerpt from the movie right now. It's a trailer that's online. Again, the movie is called By, and here's that short clip.
What about you, Jaden? Which one? Jaden? Jaden!
He just turned 2 and he wasn't talking at all. That's when he was diagnosed with severe autism.
Jaden!
Just because he doesn't speak doesn't mean he doesn't understand. Always remember that it's in there. And Jaden has a capacity, we just have to get it out of him.
Bye! 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 Bye, Jaden! Bye! Bye!
Now, Anthony, you went to a fantastic film school at NYU in New York. It's home. Some of its more illustrious alums, as you know, are the Coen brothers, which are great storytellers. Tell us a little bit about the story that you wanted to portray just from the trailer.
Sure. I mean, it's a hard thing, especially the movie is a short film. It's a 10-minute film. So to make a 1-minute trailer out of a 10-minute film is kind of bizarre. So we wanted to set up the idea of language and the idea of, a lot of the metaphors of this movie are Jaden going to school and beginning to learn how to speak. And so we wanted to set up what are those possibilities, and speech is not just everything, it's only a part of it, but it was supposed to stand in for a lot of his learning. So we wanted to use that moment that everyone can tap into, which is the first word, as kind of a moment that all communities, the autism beyond that, could all connect with and understand. So
now, I know that in the filming of this and in just your experience growing up with your parents, you got a chance to be exposed to lots of different treatments. Does the film make any sort of a statement about availability of treatments across the United States?
It doesn't beyond the very end. I mean, what I was actually trying to show was what is the daily life for Jaden. And so I really was trying to focus on the positives in that way, in terms of, especially working with a school and showing what the great work they're doing. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to focus on I wanted to focus on what the positive was, and then at the very end of the movie we have very simple statistics that show what percentage of people really get adequate treatment. And I think people will be, it's shocking to see how many people lack access, lack support in that way. So, but I wanted to show what the benefits were in that way, so that when you see those statistics, you understand, if that makes sense.
I know you personally are looking, as a filmmaker, at helping educate the masses and help bring this message out to everybody else. Where is this movie going to be seen that others will be able to be inspired by your work?
Well, right now we're in the early stages of sending it out to film festivals, mm-hmm. but we've actually very recently gotten in contact with PBS, and so we're hoping to have it as part of their POV series, mm-hmm. and that's my dream. That's nothing set in stone, but it might be as early as this summer or maybe this fall. Mm-hmm. So I will definitely keep you guys updated if we hear from a broadcast, and I would love to have as many people watch it. And
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm encouraged by the caliber of filmmakers that Autism is drawing, and each of you has been touched by autism in such a way that you feel there's a story to tell, and I appreciate the fact that you're bringing these kind of positive messages not only to the people that have been touched by autism, but those that really don't understand it as well.
Thank you. Yeah, just think, when you go to these classrooms, the kids' energy, the teachers, I mean, the principals I worked with, Michelle Weinberg and Fred Weinberg, were absolutely incredible people. And, all you have to do is meet them and it's infectious. The energy is infectious. Mm-hmm. So, to a certain way, it's almost inevitable. I feel like I had to make this movie because it's just, it's so much fun. So
yeah, and it's a story that had to be told. Well, what are some of the awards? I know that your film has been recognized already. What are some of the awards that have already come through?
Yeah, well, we made the film as part of an organization, with part of an organization called CineReach, which runs this thing called the Reach Fellowship, which helped me throughout every single day of filming, and they were instrumental to helping this movie be made. And it won an award from them, and now we're taking it out to film festivals. But on top of that, I love that for my own career, but I'm more driven by how can this film be useful with parents. And I know a lot of parents, when they get early intervention, they hear their child needs it, they don't see the imagery, they don't know what it is. So I hope that this film can show people, and maybe not persuade them or force them either way, but let them see what school is, and then let them make up their own minds if it's a good choice for their child, because 2.5 is very young. So I can understand why parents might have some apprehension. So I hope there's a bigger function for the film there, mm-hmm. To try and get more kids access.
Okay, Anthony, where can people go to find more information out about your film today?
They can go to our website and sign up for a mailing list at buymovie.com.
Buymovie.com, okay.
Yes.
Well, Anthony, I know you're going to succeed, simply because your movie is not about a capitalistic pursuit. You're telling a story that drove you and compelled you. And folks, I hope you get a chance to see this movie. It's on my list of things to do. There's some wonderful movies about autism out there today, and they can only serve to make life better for our kids and our families and our futures. So, Anthony, thanks again for what you do, and thanks for coming in today.
Thanks so much, Craig.
And thank you, Autism Hangout. I'll be back again soon with another special report.